We'll be starting in just a few moments. What do I need to unlock here? I don't know if I need a 4th brigade right now. What does that do? What does building a political faction do? Oh, it lowers reform cost. All right, I think we'll start in about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes remaining. Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Master of Command, the new Lion and Eagle DLC that adds both Poland, Lithuania, and the Swedish factions, as well as some other enhancements to the game. We've been live streaming this a little bit more frequently of late. I streamed earlier today, we're streaming tonight as well, and we're picking this up in the Lithuanian Let's Play series. Where we just actually started. We won a couple of battles. I think we had a pretty good result here. We've been to Grodno, we've been to Berizari, we just burned Troikai. I've accomplished my sort of bonus objectives of securing convoys and securing encampments. Got a bonus brigade, and we still have about 60 more days until the enemy HQ arrives, which is a good thing because they have almost 20,000 troops, and right now we only have about 9,000. So we do need to expand the size of our force. We have just instituted another reform. I like this kind of thing where you earn sort of reputation with your parliament, and then they, you know, can vote on things to help you. That's kind of a neat little trick here, and that like you have to earn sort of reform points to get things. You can bribe people. You can embed your own sort of secondary officers there. But ultimately, to get more brigades, you have to get the parliament, sort of, or the Congress, or whatever the heck, the same, to go ahead and support you. And so we've been able to do that twice and expand to a 2nd brigade, which is now fully filled out, and then a 3rd brigade, which has not yet begun to form. I think if we fill this 3rd brigade out, though, we'll be in much better shape. We'll probably be around 4,000 troops more, so we'll be 13,000 troops. Which, if well handled, 13,000 troops should be able to deal with 19,000. Maybe not easily, but certainly possible. A 4th brigade would be nice too. I still have 60 days, so let's see what that is. What's going to happen here? But good to see their fist leader. Let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm on the way to Janiski. I have a few reserves. I have a decent amount of ammo. I have good amount of provisions and 400 gold. I don't think I have anything to sell. I guess I've got some things I could sell. Let's see here. So we can start building that 4th brigade. I do want to get some cavalry, so getting some dragoons would be nice, but I don't have anywhere near enough gold for that. Hungarian infantry, Polish dragoons. The cheapest thing is these hijack skirmishers, but I don't really want to get light infantry. I don't think that's really helpful. I feel like everything's getting more expensive. I'd like to get some artillery, frankly. So none of these are things that I want to sell. Well, We do have one option. Not that I like burning friendly towns, but let's go ahead and burn them. Go ahead and reduce Jansky to a pillaged husk. That gives me more gold. It gives me more provisions. It does reduce my available recruits because apparently I take some attrition doing this. But, oh well. All right, I get some mead rations and some elevation screws as we burn the town to the ground. Let's head south to this convoy. We're a little bit below full strength, but not quite. All right, so I can delay the HQ and get 50 provisions. I don't need the civilian items. Let's get 50 provisions and delay the HQ by a week. So 153 is when they're coming. We're going to head down to Maidzal. See what we got in store here. Any cheaper troops? Commonwealth, I could get some of them just to have manpower. I could get one of their recruits. What, by the way, do we, all of our troops don't have maxed out stuff, right? So reload and move speed, I'll give it to them. Morale and move speed. Move speed, stamina recovery, but reduce. I don't like the idea of taking a morale hit. Morale recovery and charge, we'll do that. And I think we'll sell the pickled herring. Morale is important, so let's do that. I don't really use canister rounds a whole lot, so we'll sell that too. I do need more recruits. It's only 39 here. Usually recruits are 70, right? Reserves are available. Cost is reduced. Yeah, I guess I will do that. I just spent a ton of money on reserves, but that's a good amount of troops to have in reserve. Go ahead and... Okay. The question is, how do I get more troops? I probably just need to find an enemy army and fight them, rather than raiding or whatever. Okay. The enemy appears to have left this fort unguarded. Take 2 weapons. HQ's delayed by a week for 600 recruits. Yes. Give me another week. I also get Neustadt and Liege muskets. HQ's now 160. Head down to Gordio. Do I want to fight them? We could. Liege muskets, a no specialty. Neustadt, poor reload, good range. Does everybody have at least good weapons? Nobody's using worn muskets? I don't think so. No, no one's using worn muskets. Okay, good. To that end, enemy army is approaching us, which I think we will fight. I've got recruits, I've got provisions. $300 gold's not really enough. Troops are cheaper here, so we might, and we could get cavalry here, but I need money from another victory. So let's go fight them. They outnumber us, but hopefully we've got a good army composition to win. Battle of Gordno. The enemy has 1, 2 artillery pieces, 2 cavalry units, and the rest is infantry. Okay. I've got 1 artillery. What are their guns? Are they? I can't tell what they're firing. No cavalry and a lot of infantry. Let's do it, boys. I've been optimizing for a like a shooting army, so we'll see about that. Okay. All right. So what's this map look like? We got a forest and I don't particularly like the ground here. We could, I assume this would be nice defensive terrain if I get my troops into that church. Maybe we put the guns up on this elevation, put the troops on a diagonal, form a more compact line. Okay. All right, so we will put our veteran muskets in this church or whatever this is. They'll kind of be our flank. This is not really like a great position to be in. It's a wooded hill, which is not super common in this game, I feel like. Okay. Hide in the forest. I mean, the forest is too small. Left flank forest could have been good. That might have been smarter. Okay. Let's get these boys up. The artillery getting onto the hill is probably the most immediately concerning thing. Okay, yeah, these guys have really good cover here. Unlimba. Okay. I suppose we could use this hill. Like, this is a bit out there, but we could use that as our extreme flank. Put those 2 units down there. All right, and we'll have some reserve units because I assume they will break through in a few places if we form a shorter line. But that'll at least allow me to have some reserves here. So these guys, these Polish musketeers have great elevation advantages. Not sure if this is like still on the corner of the hill plus the farmstead, because they are going to overlap our flank on the right. So put those guys over there. Man, the enemy is just stretching across the whole line. What is their doctrine anyway? This army is likely to be aggressive. It may defend if it has a large artillery advantage. They have an artillery advantage. I don't know that it's a large artillery advantage. Okay. You bought War in the Pacific today, Gordon? Nice. What are your thoughts? I feel like it's a very... It's either for you or it's not type of a game. Okay. I wonder if counter battery fire would actually make sense in this particular scenario. I would think the supply train may actually, so like if the enemy shoots at me enough to run out of ammo, then the supply train will actually even the odds quite a bit. Do I know what kind of guns they have? Looks like they're bronze, I think. Maybe not. They don't look tiny. I honestly think you'd be better off shooting at these guys because you've got 3 ranks of troops to shoot across. Switch your fire over here. Stop shooting at the recruits. Let your rounds plow through 3 or 4 enemy units. Alright, the enemy artillery's opened up. Where are they shooting at? I don't even know who they shot. I see shots falling long. I guess these veterans in between. So we shot at their artillery. We did 7 casualties. A round bounced long and did 10 or 20 casualties to these Prussian hussars. So this is ideal. Again, you might hit the canton recruits as well. At least until they advance in front of the artillery. But I'm still happy with shooting long and getting maybe potentially additional follow-on casualties to the units behind. Wonder where those hussars are going. No, they're going to pack in even closer. So 3 more casualties to the artillery. More to the hussars as well. Exactly what I'm happy to see. The enemy's coming toward me slowly. They're shooting at my general? Or just the infantry and the generals behind him? Overall, they're shooting at 2 different units, so they're splitting their fire. Meanwhile, I am doing damage to their artillery. Slightly, anyway. I guess you're still shooting long, more so into the hussars than the Freikorps artillery. So 2 regiments of cavalry taking damage as I shoot at their guns. The guns are a small target, that's the challenge. Alright, these guys have moved up. The canton recruits are shooting at them. We'll have the Polish veterans also shoot. Okay, so we'll get 2 regiments firing into these recruits, which are not the most sturdy of soldiers. Veteran muskets here getting pounded by enemy artillery, but that's about what you'd expect. These guys are in a tree line, so that should help versus the cantonist recruits. The enemy army seems pretty green as well. They do have some better troops, but they're up to 270 casualties inflicted. Still only 10 against the artillery, but those hussars behind the artillery getting pounded hard. 100, looks like 100 casualties out of them. Let's see if we fire one more salvo before I look elsewhere. Yeah, they did 7 there. A few more hussars. Okay. I think that's a worthwhile use of the artillery at the moment. Cantonist recruits are retreating. Polish musketeers switch their fire to the land milts. Lithuanian muskets on the hill, or in the cover, I guess. Maybe shoot at the troops right in front of you. Okay. I was going to say, they're literally right in front of you. Just a thought. Oh, those Freikorps recruits are flanking us, so let's move this reserve regiment down. These Freikorps recruits are on my flank of the Lithuanians, and so that's probably why we're taking the disproportionate amount of casualties. Alright, Prussian land milts are retreating. Good. Shift your fire to these cantonists. Ganging up on these Prussian land milts. Artillery still shooting at the enemy guns, still doing more damage to the cavalry behind them. Land milts are retreating now too. Left flank is still a bit of a concern here with the Lithuanian veteran muskets taking a lot of fire. They're giving a good account of themselves. These cantonists will probably retreat here in a moment, and when they do, then they can shift their focus to the Freikorps recruits. So overall, the stand, fight, and shoot approach has been working. Those guys are retreating. Switch your fire. Right flank unit holding in there. Artillery's still at 100% ammo because of the supply wagon. They're up to almost 400 casualties inflicted. I think most of those are cavalry. Yeah, these guys are down below 600 now. Artillery's hanging in there, firing. They're at 133 out of 150, so they haven't lost too badly, but... Alright, Lithuanian veteran militia, shift your fire. Now you can deal with the troops that have been hurting you on your flank. You'll join the Magnente militia, I guess. Hey, Coffee Filter, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay. Some enemy units look like they're rallying, coming back into the fight. We're in a very passive mode right now, so that's not terribly shocking. They're moving their artillery forward? Why? Shift your fire to the Prussian Hussars. Okay. Right, they're about to retreat, I think. Then we'll shift fire to the Canton recruits. Who's charging? Someone's charging. Or I think someone's charging. I thought I heard cheering. Alright, I would think these guys will retreat on the next volley. Yep, they will. They almost shattered. They probably would have if I hadn't. Almost. I think they'll rally too. Okay, shift your fire. Artillery is focusing on these cavalry now. They're way overshooting though. Shoot at the infantry in front. Let your rounds bounce. That seems to be the best tactic for cavalry. Okay. You're not shooting at anybody? Well, advance and do so. Alright, boys. The enemy attack on your left flank is broken. Shift and fire. Shift and fire. Enemies retreating. They probably won't rally based on those stats. I think we've got this thing in the bag. It's just a question of how many more men we lose, I think. We haven't really dealt with the enemy cavalry yet, which is going to be probably the biggest challenge at the moment that we still have left. We've done some artillery work against it, but Come on, boys. Fire another. We're reloading here. These 4 guns. Everything was long. Alright, shoot at these guys, I guess. Maybe your shots will skip long into those hussars like you did earlier. Okay. Open fire! They're charging you! Can you shoot at them in melee? Doesn't look like it. Charge into the flank of those horsemen. I don't want you to charge, I just want you to shoot. Alright, boys, go get the artillery. That's all that's left, more or less. Okay. Artillery is still at 100% ammunition. That supply wagon perk is such a killer. That is awesome. I don't think I can choose to shorten the range. I think you just choose the target. With regards to why my artillery was overshooting. Okay, this enemy unit's morale is pretty low. Alright, enemy artillery is being driven off. I think they only have the 1 unit that's not routing. The general is leading the charge. Okay. Enemy's morale is wavering. They will break here in a second. One of their artillery units didn't look like it was retreating, but it didn't look like it was routed, if that makes sense. But it doesn't matter. That's a victory. Victory! Bum ba-dum 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 ba-dum. Wow, we got 600 gold for that battle? We lost 1,700 men. I have 2,600 in reserve, so those are all replaceable. Got some more weapons, some more captured stuff that we can sell. I am going to do we want veterancy, or I want money so we can get better troops, right? That's an awesome amount of ammo too, but I honestly, let's go with the veterancy, I guess. Gotta get these troops to be better. Okay. Oh wait, there's one. Melee and charge. Sure. I don't do a lot of charging, but all right. This militia can upgrade. I don't have any grenadiers yet. I don't know that I need them. I'm fighting less to fight in melees and more to shoot. We do want a cavalry unit, but let's do the musketeers. So they're the same shooting. All right, let's do the Lithuanian grenadiers. Oh, I don't have enough points for that. Okay, fine, we'll wait. All right, so back to Grodno. Let's sell. I mean, these are the same thing. I'm not going to have 2 cavalry units. Crochet as well. All right, so we're at 1,100 gold. I want more artillery, but I do want the cavalry as well. So what are these guys? Polish Vanguard Cavalry. What are they? They're light cavalry. You can upgrade them to veterans or to Pansari. Okay. All right, so another unit. I've now got a cavalry unit. That leaves me with 350 gold. All right, so for the cavalry, let's go ahead and equip them with these horses, which give them better melee and better speed. Any of these carbines? No? Okay. We can give them these pistols, which do what? Accuracy and charge. And we can give them stamina move speed or stamina move speed for sure. This is much better. To that end then, we will sell these horseshoes because I don't have anything for them. It gives me to 400, which then I can use to buy another infantry regiment. Commonwealth recruits. They do start at the bottom of the barrel experience-wise, but listen, you got to start somewhere, right? Okay. Buy food. I have plenty of food though. And 30 is the standard price. Okay. So I gotta go find someone else to fight now, I guess, right? We'll have up to 1,100 troops. We still have 60 days till the enemy comes. Let's go check out what's at this outpost. $120 ammo. Sure. Mutiny quelled. So I can either conscript the mutineers or get ammo. Conscript the mutineers. Let's go to this encampment, I guess. I'm looking for enemy armies. It's interesting. There don't seem to be as many, like, garrison armies on this map that I've noticed. Good polls. Oh, they have cheap food. No. Yes, let's go fight these guys. Let's chase these down. I need another battle. All right, we outnumber these guys pretty convincingly. 7,500 men to 11,000. They've got 2 cavalry units. I now have 1. Let's go ahead and fight this battle. And then if we need food, we can buy it from this place where the food is cheap. Holly jumping, by the way. Thanks for the follow. 26 minutes ago. Appreciate that. All right. Ooh, we got a nice big hill right here in front of us. So to that end, let's go ahead and put our artillery up here. Put our infantry on the left. Other infantry across the front of this hill. Here. Reserve of our infantry on this hill. Put these guys on the far left on this sort of hedge. And our general on the hill. Oh, my vanguard cavalry, what do I do with them? I don't know, go stick them over there on the flank. Gentlemen, take your positions! They're gonna get to me before I actually get my boys into position, aren't they? Oh, artillery should probably unlimber. Alright, whatever. Go ahead and hit the Freikorps here. You didn't quite get into position. The enemy beat you to the spot. Because of a sloppy setup by me. Enemy cavalry is already charging me? Interesting. I'm sending my general into the fight. That'll give my own troops who are currently engaged in the melee a morale boost. And my general definitely helped turn the tide. Those hussars' morale plummeted. Get my general out of there before he loses too badly. Okay. You're gonna charge me? Well, I'm gonna double charge you. All right, the enemy's gonna do some charging, it would seem. I think this one's a pretty convincing victory. Or it will end up being one. Just sent my general into this charge too. Let him pursue. This one went way more melee heavy than I was prepared for. But a pretty easy victory. Oh god, artillery, don't shoot cannonballs into your own men. What is this? The Patriot? Okay. Alright, a victory. Some nice chunk of gold here. Got some horses. I don't really need the horses. We got some money. We can also buy some ammo. I don't need the reservists, I don't think. Veterancy and provisions. Well, we're about to enter a town with plenty of provisions, so let's go with the gold. Because I want more recruits. Okay. Okay. What about my horsemen? Do they need anything more? They've got duplicate horses here, so. I think I'd rather the melee damage received to be reduced. All right. What do these guys got? More dragoons if I want them. Could do more Commonwealth recruits. I've got the cash for that. 16? That food's cheap. I just spent probably more money than I wanted to, but you can carry food over campaign to campaign, so I think it's worth it. Okay. Those guys need to be 5 to get upgraded to what I want them to. Alright, the ammo and the troops aren't exactly a good deal. Still 37 more days. Let's go ahead and destroy this town. Might lure another enemy army in that we can then defeat. Does cost me quite a bit in the way of reserves though, but... Okay. All right, so we raised that town. What do I do from here? There's a battlefield down here. Let's go see what's on it. Okay. Duel. Yay. Reserve officer gains 5,000 experience? Holy cow. So he can be upgraded? Okay, I'll swap them out. Rather than go after that convoy, which is way out here, let's go back to Ordenburg, I guess. Oh, wait, another battlefield down here. Let's go down here and check out. So I can either get 600 more reserves or get weapons. I don't really need the weapons. We'll take the reserves. Let's go to the slum here, I guess. Oops. Okay, spend $70. I don't need the patrol army's location. Delay the enemy HQ. I'll pay that. How much is this? 10,000 troops. Let's go fight them. It's weird that they're like in the middle of the mountains. We'll probably suffer attrition to get to them, but... Alright, so this is an enemy field army or whatever it is. The kind that are just stuck in one spot on the map that are very good that you have to fight. We outnumber them in theory, but they do have more artillery than us. They do have, well, considerably more artillery, more cavalry, but not as much infantry. So that should be an interesting fight. So we'll see. This should be a big one. Welcome to the big one. Nice. We get a little rise or hill right in front of us. A town on the right flank, another hill. Okay, so I think that's my defensive position. They do get some elevation and some cover to move through as well. Okay. Move these guys in column formation so they can move faster. All right, slow-mo. Cover. Hill. Town. Town. I guess fence line. The enemy that you're going to be facing is going to be in better terrain than you. You'll be in reserve, kind of, but you'll be back here. Put the artillery on the hill here with the supply wagon. Move our cavalry off to the right flank, I think. I think that's the best place for them to be, given the terrain. Put another reserve unit back here behind the town. Put the general with the artillery to keep the morale up, because they will get fatigued. And start moving the boys. Alright. Here in the town, spread out. The other side of the town, spread out. Top of the hill, spread out. And then the wood lines, spread out. Cavalry's moving to the right flank. These guys are kind of a reserve. They're kind of also the flank guard for these boys up on the hill. If the enemy tries to go around them, they can step forward. Or just guard from here, depending on where the enemy goes. But the enemy's line appears to be stacked heavy to the right. So my flank being a little bit open with one unit sort of recessed here to guard it is, I think, okay. Good cover, good elevation. Are these guys unlimbered yet? No. Thought I told them to unlimber, but maybe not. Alright, we're actually going to stick you in the wood line back here. If it looks like we're going to break, we'll push you forward, but for now, get you further out of the likely... Okay. Well, here we go, boys. Okay, big bad. I don't know what to say to that, but okay. I guess that's what you say to that. Enemy artillery's opening up. Are these guys in range? Target the horse artillery and then shoot long into the hussars. Maybe you can do some decent counter battery. They're shooting at the musketeers there. That was not a very effective salvo there. Didn't do any damage to the horse artillery and did 6 casualties to the hussars back there. Hussars, House of Fine Diamonds. If you know, you know. Those rounds are really pounding into these Lithuanian troops in the town. They're really targeting our center with that artillery. The veteran Polish musketeers, the reserve back there, probably a good location for them. No damage to the horse artillery again. This is a wasted salvo. Go ahead and switch your fire to these guys. This is a better angle, I think. $80 casualties? Are they getting hit by artillery? 200 casualties already? Okay. Polish veterans, go ahead and advance. Right flank is a problem. Do I just have the one reserve regiment? I thought I had 2, but by the looks of it, I've only got the 1. Oh god, these Commonwealth recruits are already retreating. Okay, refuse your flank up on this hill. Get up there on the double. Cavalry shift south. Pull back. These duels are not going in my favor. None of them are. All right. I think we outnumber them? I can't even remember. My recruits at least rallied. So we can engage with 2 regiments on the enemy flank. We'll pull back a little bit there, shorten our lines maybe. Those Cantonist recruits are retreating. They'll rally, but at least 2 enemy regiments are retreating. Can you shoot at these cavalry here? Or no, shoot. Don't do that. Shoot at the infantry here. They're... Cool. Alright. I'm gonna charge into you with my general. Bolster my own men's morale, hopefully, and hurt the enemy morale. The morale is dropping precariously. The enemy is. So I think this will work out. Hey, turn and... They're gonna just... Yeah, turn and shoot at these guys. Hey, General. Don't get over eager. Pull back. Not the time to pursue. Oh, they're just shooting at my cavalry? God damn it. I wasn't even looking. Hopefully they rally. All right, the immediate risk is this Lithuanian musket unit. They're taking very heavy casualties. All of my boys. It's got to be the artillery is turning things on their head, loss ratio wise. All right, that one unit's doing okay. You can fire right down the length of their line. That's some bowling ball shit right there. What are you doing? I don't think I told you to march all the way out there by yourself. I guess that might not actually be the worst idea. Did the cavalry rally? Fuck, they did not. They routed off the map. It feels worse than it is right now. Some of my boys are just standing there and taking fire. Hey, General, go rally these guys. Get your morale booster in there. All right, those guys shattered. Nice. One thing that would be nice, and it's not easy, because believe me, I know. I'm not a coder, but I remember talking to Norb about it on Scourge of War. But one thing would be nice is if the AI was a little bit more in control of itself, like turn and, you know, adjust your facing appropriately where there's an enemy, you know, those kind of things. I suppose that's a double-edged sword, right? You might not agree with it, what the AI is choosing to do, but I do outnumber them. Only slightly coming into this battle, but they also have a large number of artillery units, which is kind of weird because it's like a force multiplier, but it also means a slot that's taken up by a unit that has a small number of men. So sometimes that's a little misleading. It's like, oh, you're outnumber them, but yeah, but they've got artillery that's going to inflict enough casualties to make up the difference. That can be true of cavalry as well. It depends on the circumstances. All right, you switch your fire over here. Those enemy troops are going to rally, but all right, morale is actually higher on our end. It doesn't feel like it, but apparently it is. All right, these horses are coming forward. Artillery shoot at one of them. All right, my morale may not be great. Can you get a volley off? They were just about to shoot at him. All right, cavalry, come on, save me. General, save me. That charge by my general, you can see their morale is melting away. The troops on the left were in better shape, but, you know, who knows when they're going to start bowling balling cavalry through or artillery through on their own boys. All right. I also ordered my boys to... Oh, those are bad guys? My troops that I ordered to charge on the right did not fare as well as the ones I ordered to charge on the left. These Prussian veterans are going to break, though. My boys should be able to turn and face the remaining regiment. I don't want you to melee, I just want you to shoot. They may rally, but we'll see. My general's just off here doing generally things, leading from the front, just like a true general would, right? They're still shooting their artillery at other targets while my general melees them? Strange. I think the general will get him though. He does. They're gonna retreat. I'll charge the artillery behind them. Alright, the enemy morale is supposed to melt. I know my boys are tired, but they're shooting, but again, not at me. There's 2 enemy regiments over here? Oh yeah, one of them recovered. Okay, well, hey guys, you outnumber them now comfortably. Get your ass over there and finish them off, because the troops in the center are just gonna rout. They're not, there's no coming back from that. None of these troops are gonna rally. So this is gonna be a victory. Yeah, you can charge through your own troops pretty effectively. For better or worse. This should be a victory. I'm going to speed things along. Our general will do total war pursuit things. These other regiments will come up here, hopefully to save these. Oh, I thought I just told them to shoot. I didn't think I ordered them to charge. I don't know that I want them to charge. They're going to be outnumbered. I guess everybody's just going to charge. Do you get like a bonus when you shatter an enemy versus just routing them? I don't know the answer to that. Okay. Definitely a bloodbath, but a victory. We should have time to reform our army before the next fight. Okay, 600 more gold. Captured colors to sell, some doctrine stuff. We lost 3,600 men, quite a few. We'll have to replace those losses. We go with dollars, with ammo. I'm going to go with the veteran. The conscripts will allow me to replace a good chunk of my losses. Not all of them, but a good chunk. New doctrine. Victories provide... Let's do this. More support in the Congress. A lot of boys get promoted. Von der Goltz is now level 5 general. Dude better not fucking die on me. I guess more artillery range. Okay. I was heading toward Rosny, or however you pronounce that. So we'll keep heading that direction. Actually, let's go get this herd, because I'm assuming I can get pelts, which I can then also sell for money. Oh, apparently get a mascot. Okay. Which is like a useful, gives you morale bonuses or whatever. Pelts, please. All right, so I need more recruits. God damn. Eating into like all my gold is just replacing my losses, but you know. Okay, so that's that. Go ahead and sell captured flags. That's for 170. The pelts are another 140 or so. I don't need 2 elevation screws. Wait, they don't have that much money. I'm actually reading it right this time, though. Quartermaster should have more money, though. He does. I can sell the dog for 2 gold. That's it. Okay. So I got 1,000 gold left. I would like another artillery battery. I think that's important. Not enough dollars. Okay. All right. So second artillery battery. I don't know why I got that 3-pound gun. Like, what is that serving? It serves basically no purpose. Okay. Better reload. I've got 2 iron 3-pounders now. Okay. What can I do with the 60%? I can get 2,000 reserves. I could have done that before. That might have been the smarter thing to do. I'd rather just gold. This is Act 1. All right. Let's sell some of what we've got here. I don't need that cannon. Or that elevation screw. Or that breastplate. 500 gold lets me buy a Lithuanian militia unit. So we've nearly we have maxed out the 3rd Brigade now. We'll give them better weapons. Okay. Okay, so we've got some Sejem power, which or same power, however you pronounce that. We could use it to get more reserves. I'm going to wait for another battle to do that, though, just because 2,000 replacements would be nice, but I don't need them quite now. I'd like the 4th Brigade, but I need a lot more political power to get there. You know, we could sack the town. That might bring an enemy army on top of me. We've got 25 days left. The main enemy army will have another brigade would be real nice, to be honest, because right now I've got 12,000 men. They'll outnumber me comfortably without that 4th Brigade. But I need more. I probably need another battle to get enough political power to get there. Okay. Sacked the town. Cartridge boxes. Morale and stamina. Reduced ammo consumption. That'll be nice. I guess we'll go to the battlefield. Still 16 more days. I'm not quite at full strength. Get the bone saw. Nope, didn't save him. Alright. I'm not going to get that brigade. I'm not going to have time. Just going to have to pray that what we've got is enough. Is there anything, if I had more money, I could recruit here? Well, again, I need another brigade to fit anything, so. I could put my one reserve officer in here. But again, I don't have money to buy new units, which is the other issue. We can get more troops if we expand the size of the cavalry. But it only increases their size by 50. It's probably not worth it for that few men. What do the slums do for us? Anything? I guess we got another battle 4 days before. 4 days before the enemy headquarters is going to move. Might give me enough time to get my power up, though. Anyway. Bear with me 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to step away for a second to use the restroom, and then we will fight the Battle of Philippau. I'll be right back. I have some good news for you, everybody, that no one here cares about. The Chicago Cubs lost. That's always good news. Okay, so I'm back. We're going to go ahead and fight the Battle of Philippau, and we will see how this thing goes. Large enemy army, about the same size as us. We have 2 artillery units now. The enemy actually only has 1 in this battle. They also only have 1 cavalry unit, so the same amount as us. So they might have a little bit more infantry than us, but overall, that should be an interesting fight. I think that plays into my playstyle. Chicago Cubs, not the White Sox. I don't care about the White Sox. You're a Giants fan. Cool. Must be nice to have lived through watching your team win, what, 3 World Series in the early 2000s? I'm a Brewers fan, so. We've had tremendous regular season success the last however many times. It's the Bills without getting to the World Series, you know? All right, what are we going to do here? Do we just form a little wall ourselves off in this corner? Be kind of tempting. Okay. I mean, I don't like the Dodgers either, so. The Dodgers stopped my team from making it to the World Series, well, twice in the NLCS in the last 10 years. Once we had the lead in Game 7 of the NLCS, and they still beat us. Granted, it was like 1-0 in the first inning, so it was early, but... Still, I think one of the coolest or best moments of my fandom was watching Brandon Woodruff take Kershaw yard, and I think it was Game 1 of the NLCS. Pretty sure that's the loudest Miller Park has ever been. Pitcher taking another pitcher, you know, Cy Young caliber guy. Deep. Sorry, guys. I just need 1 second. Sorry about that. Did it not actually pause? Because the enemy seems... Oh, no, those are my troops way out there. Okay, cool. Sorry about randomly Yes, that was a smoke detector beep. I, like, randomly in the middle of my stream, I heard that noise. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's a hell of an annoying thing to, like, crop up right now. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know what a frick I'm doing. This line doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What's the enemy doctrine? They're unlikely to be aggressive. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll see if they actually come for us. We did have... I had for the first time... pretty much in forever. Where are my men shooting at? Well, they are moving in. They are moving toward me, so. So maybe we hold on the left and attack on the right. But yeah, I had the first time the other day, what was actually last night, where the enemy AI just sat and waited for me to come to them. It was kind of a shocking experience because that literally has never happened to me before, but it's due to the whole new AI doctrine stuff they've put in place. Definitely changes the experience pretty meaningfully. You were about to check your own smoke detectors? Yeah, I couldn't find it. I was like, which one is this? I knew the ones at the top of the stairs are supposed to be like 10 minutes, you know, or 10 years, and they have not been anywhere near that yet. But some of the ones that were in the house when we moved in had batteries. I was like, well, it's not the one at the foot. So that's why it was taking me so long. It was like at the foot of the stairs in the basement. And I was like, nope, it's not that one. It's one in the kitchen, apparently. Everybody I know is in on the smoke detector drama. What is he doing? What's going on? All right. So not really smoke detector drama, but I think I mentioned this on the stream the other day, but it was kind of a little bit of an awkward experience the other day. I was golfing. And I was golfing for my birthday. I was like, all right, I'll take the day off. I'll go golf. It'll be fun. I don't golf a ton, but I'd like to golf more than I do, I guess is what I would say. And I was golfing as a solo, which you don't often get to do, but sometimes at like municipal courses where they're not as crowded, you do. And so I was golfing, and I was golfing by myself. And it was very crowded, and so the marshal comes up, you know, the guy who's in charge of managing who's doing what on the course, comes up and, you can't golf alone. We're too crowded, sorry. So, okay, fine. And, you know, whatever. That's fine. Get paired with an elderly couple in front of me, which is great. You know, no problem with that. And then I realized that I had purchased custom golf balls because I'm a nerd, and I'm like, listen, I'm not spending money on Pro Vs because I suck. But you know what's cheaper than spending money on Pro Vs is spending money on a custom logo golf ball that's not a Pro V, like a Wilson or something. So I did that, and I put like my channel emotes on because I was like, this will be fun. It'll be a little treat, you know, just whatever. Like there's a cool, I got like some balls with my dog's, you know, emote on there, my Lily emote. Got some. All right, we broke this charge on the right flank. I haven't done it yet, but I'd like to get some of those atomic soldier emotes on there. I think that'd be a cool little golf ball. But what I did have was a mushroom cloud emote on some of them. And the couple that I was golfing with is a very elderly Japanese couple. So that was a little awkward. Spoke very little English, so I couldn't like be like, hey, this is just a YouTube thing. Yeah. Anyway, my general is getting attacked. I tried to tell him to charge to the left. Get out of there, boys. This fight is not shaping out the way that I had envisioned it to. All right, cavalry. Charge the flank of these Frycorps recruits. Shock them. I know my horsemen are light horsemen, but... Got him. All right, boys, just shift your position here. We got to pivot our line left. My general's broken, but he should rally. Good thing I've got that Commonwealth thing in my back pocket to get 2,000 reserves. Unfortunately, means I probably won't have enough money to buy another influence to buy another brigade. Mob charge them. Sending my general in there too. I think just the sheer weight of numbers should tell the tale here. These guys should not rally. What a bloody and silly fight. Where are my dragoons? They're like off here just chasing glory. Hunting down routed enemy troops. I don't want you to charge, I just want you to shoot. I think my general just shattered someone. This is such a messy fight. Okay. We should win this thing, but it ain't pretty. All right, you guys are exhausted, so they're gonna lose their charge like bonus before they get to the artillery. But if you just click it again, they get more stamina back and they're fine. There you go. Victory. Not the prettiest fight, but a victory is a victory. $700 gold. We lost 1,800 men. So we can choose to do the dollars and the ammo, which may allow me to afford a new unit before the next battle. Although, no, I can't. I've got to do this so I can replace my losses and still have enough influence, because we're at 99% influence, which is just about where we need to be to get a new brigade. Okay. Let's go to Philippau. It's like the day before the enemy army marches. Are there any soldiers here we can raise? There are. Okay, so we need a 4th brigade, which is 105. I need the officer for the actual to lead the brigade. So we will bribe the officials. Can I not get it above 105%? Shoot. So I got to do this, which costs 80%. There's no way I can't do it. Because you can't go above 100%, so you have to bribe them to lower the political faction cost, but that costs 80% of my... Well, shoot. I suppose you expand the size of the cavalry to get me a whole 50 more troops. Or just do this now. So this drops to 500, which in theory I can now get to. So I would need 14. I could spend all of my money and get to 100%. Can I sell enough to... No, I can't. Thank you for paying attention for me. All right, so if I were to bribe, I would need at least 400 left over, which would, the most I could get to is 60%, which would get me to 9. Assuming I can bribe enough. Unless, is there an officer I can? Not at this town. Shoot. So I'm going to be down 7,000 men compared to the main field army that's going to be chasing me. Here they come, boys. I don't know if I have a strong enough army to beat them. I think we'll have no choice but to turtle and pray they don't have too much artillery. Not that I want to fight a battle right before the main battle, but a 4,000 man force, maybe I can crush them with few losses, and then I can get some more political support and get a 4th brigade and get to a town and raise a regiment or two. I'm just praying, man. Just praying. Nice forest here. Nice ridgeline, too. I mean, the enemy only has 4,000 troops. I think... Obviously, we should... What's their doctrine? They're not going to be aggressive. Okay. Probably not, anyway. I'll just let them come to me. They're mostly rookie troops who probably won't fare well under artillery fire. I'm surprised they're even coming forward this far. Okay. Get the guns in action, boys. Pound them. I can't imagine they'll hold up much in this fight. Maybe they're just gonna try and charge me? Alright, I'm gonna charge the enemy light troops with my cavalry. Regiment's already wavering. I don't think you want to fight my cavalry with light troops. Nope, they're retreating. Honestly, I kind of would have thought the enemy would have broken a little bit faster. They gave a better fight. I mean, it was a little sloppy. I kind of just tried to win this thing ASAP. I haven't seen any option to auto-resolve battles yet. Alright, how many men did we lose? Hopefully less than 600. Alright, 200 gold. $350, perfect. So I've got enough reserves. I do need the money a little bit, I guess. Okay. Vanguard cavalry. I'll go with the smaller unit with better charge stats. Oh, I don't have enough. Never mind. I can't afford to sacrifice manpower. I need to just maximize firepower, I think, going into this fight. So we'll just go for veteran muskets everywhere. All right, so where's a town I can get to before the enemy chases me down? How much army replenishment do I need to do? Not a ton. We're gonna do force march. We can't out march the enemy, but I'm hoping to beat him to this town. Because the enemy's coming from the bottom right. Winter's coming, I know. Shit, go here. Yes. Okay, so we've got 60 Sejm power. Expand the infantry unit size? Is that every infantry unit? Because this feels like that would be a huge deal. If every infantry unit got 100 more men, that would definitely outweigh, although the loss of morale would concern me. Is it better to sell that stuff or to present them as war trophies? Okay. All right, so we can now get a 4th brigade. Yay! I've got 1,400 gold left to equip them. I want to get Polish militia just because I want some Polish troops. Well, I already have Polish troops. The Lithuanian musketeers are the best initial unit for the job. Hey, Army Junior. All right, so that's an additional brigade with no commander, admittedly, but a brigade nonetheless with 1,200 men. And then I've got enough for another brigade. Not good troops, but... Oh, no, I can do the Polish militia. They're slightly better. They're the 2nd tier. Can sell this stuff to get a little bit of gold here. There's no guns to buy, though. So they're going to be stuck with their crummy weapons. But we got 2,600 more troops. Not great ones, but that's troops. All right, let's go get this herd. See if we can get to this other town. Nope. All right. We're just shy of 15,000 men against 19,000. What does the enemy have to bring against us? 2 full brigades of lots of infantry of good quality. Some of them are Cantonist recruits. Thank God it's Act 1. But they've got 2 Prussian musketeers Prussian in that 1st brigade. They've got 2 Prussian veteran muskets in that 2nd brigade. A specialist unit of the Itzenplatz musketeers. So they've got like 7 or 8 really good brigades. They do have 2 recruit units. They do have Freikorps Hussars, only 1 cavalry unit, 2 Freikorps recruits in the 2nd brigade. The 3rd brigade is lots of artillery, 3 batteries of artillery. One of them looks like field guns, so they may not have the best range. One of them looks small, so they might be 3-pounders. And then a Prussian converged fusiliers. I don't know that I've ever seen that unit before. They outnumber us by about 5,000. Well, 4,000. But we have some pretty decent troops here. We've got veteran musketeers, Polish veteran musketeers, a really good artillery unit here, level 7 field artillery. Some of our troops are crappy, the 2 new militia musketeer units we raised. But this will decide whether we get to advance to Act number 2 or whether we stay in Act 1 and lose. So let's go ahead and fight this thing and see how it plays out. All right, what terrain do we have here to work with? Not great. I don't like any of this terrain. We got a little bit of elevation here. We could base our defense on, shift our lines left, and kind of form a shell up against the left side of the map here, using some of these hedgerows, if you will, and the bit of elevation we've got over there. I think that's our best choice. The other option is just to form up sort of here on an angle in the back center. Use that house as cover, but there's no elevation for the artillery then. So I think we'll put the artillery over here, up on this rise. The supply wagon may actually come in clutch too. Being able to perhaps give our 2 batteries the effectiveness, at least the ammunition of 4, maybe. All right, we'll slow things down. Put the field artillery here and here. Polish veteran muskets across the front here. Three regiments on the left. 3 regiments, 4 regiments on the left. Maybe we just put them, I don't know, this way and bend. Let's do that. Cavalry will charge them in the flank if they try and do any funny business. So what we're going to do is we're going to form a line here, maybe even on this hill. I don't think I'll get to that hill though, and ahead of them. Okay. We're just going to make a whole bunch of salients in our line. Because I'm sure that's smart military strategy. No, you'd be a reserve here, actually, up on this hill. I actually have a fair number of reserves. They're going to overlap me. Still form up down here if they're going to go past me. All right, here they come. Interesting that they're firing at the enemy horse artillery and then it's plowing into the hussars. I guess that's good strategy. I usually would prefer to keep my guns concentrated, but it's probably better to target infantry troops you're facing. All right. Turn your line. Advance your line. What's their doctrine? Unlikely to be aggressive, may defend if they have an artillery advantage. Well, they do have an artillery advantage, and they're not defending. All right, pull back here, use the elevation. See if we can even the odds a bit on the left flank while the right flank takes longer to get into position because they've got a much longer line to wheel. These guys are recruits in front of us, so they may break more easily. These guys are pulling back, perhaps because I've refused my lines, and they're like, hey, we've got 3 regiments up against us. These aren't good odds. We'll get 2 regiments against these Prussian musketeers. Right flank and center still moving to get into position. They're not there yet. Oh. Boys have totally shifted fire to the enemy artillery. Okay. It's interesting how the infantry doesn't choose their own targets. Well, they do, I guess, but a lot of times they don't. The artillery just like, yeah, we'll shoot whatever we feel like. All right, that enemy unit's retreating. They will rally, but at least for now. Okay, advance, use your hill elevation a bit, shift your line. We'll get 2 regiments on the lead of this musketeer unit. Right flank holding in position still. Refused line. Supply wagons get up there. General, you should be giving some morale speeches and bonuses to your boys. Wow, 150. Oh, that's because they're getting targeted by the enemy artillery, I'm sure. They've used about a quarter of their artillery ammo. We have used none once the supply wagon gets up there anyway. I'm kind of surprised this Prussian musket unit is not losing more morale. Extend your line, get another regiment into action on the left flank. Screw being a reserve, get into action. I've got other reserves for now. The enemy seems to be fighting a little bit inconsistently, though. They are keeping some units in reserve while bringing other units forward, like the left flank. They've committed to an assault, it would seem. The right flank, are they still moving into position, or they're just sitting there? And then they've got another 3 regiments just sitting here. So it's like they decided to advance their center. I suppose that could make some sense. It's like, oh, we're probing the enemy lines or something. But it's not what I would do. especially when you don't have fog of war. It's one thing when it's like, oh, we're trying to feel out the enemy lines because we don't know where they are. But when you don't have fog of war, it's kind of like, well, maybe you should just fight. All right, those Cantonist recruits are getting shot and they're pulling back. These land melts are a problem. Enemy artillery is 40% used up. These veteran boys are getting chewed up something fierce. These musketeers might retreat soon, but that's the first of our units likely to retreat. 550 casualties. One more volley from the boys on the hill and they'll retreat, I think. Yep, they will rally, but at least for now. Let's get you guys out of the line. Move you back here. Give you a rest. Maybe you get some of your morale back. Enemy artillery is 50%. Mostly. Some units anyway. My artillery is still at 100%. What's the supply wagon at? 35%. So we're burning through the supply wagon's ammo, but artillery's doing its job. I don't know that I'd focus on the enemy artillery, though, to be honest. I think I would focus on their infantry. At this point, like if you could focus on just their cavalry, maybe, and that's kind of what you're doing now anyway, because your shots are running long into their cavalry, but shift your line. Get a better firing arc. These guys are going to run right across the front of my troops. My right flank still has to stay in position largely, but so far so good. This AI doctrine suits me just fine. Who are you turning to shoot at? Oh, you're trying to go the other way? Okay. If they want to let me defeat them in detail, I am, you know, don't interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. All right, 50% ammo for their artillery. Looks like they're bringing more of their left flank forward. Where are you going with your troops there? I mean, the troops on the left of mine are not exactly getting off scot-free. They are taking, some of them anyway, are taking a beating. But all right, shift your line. Advance off the hill there. Their right flank still isn't doing anything. Their left flank is going to get beat and their artillery will be out of ammo, and then they're finally going to be like, oh, maybe we should be fighting. Whatever. The Hussars over here are already wavering due to all the artillery damage they've faced. Who's charging? Someone's charging. Sounded like someone was charging anyway. Some of my boys are low on ammo. Does this wagon have any ammo left? Just a little bit. Can I tell them not to replenish? That would be a nice order to be able to do. So probably going to replenish as they move that way. Be nice if you could be like, actually keep that ammo in your wagon. Don't give it to those soldiers, because the guys on the left flank are running low on ammo after doing great work. But yeah, that's out of ammo. Damn. Well, they're just gonna have to start charging, I guess. The whole enemy left flank is pretty much routing. Some of them may rally. These guys won't. These guys won't. These guys won't. They won't. None of them will rally. Okay. My artillery only just started expending its ammo. Enemy cavalry. I mean, these guys were pounded by my artillery for most of the battle. They're not going to be much use. They're starting to move their regiments on the right flank. Their left flank, or I guess my left flank on their right flank, my left, is gone. They've got Prussian Converged Fusiliers, which I think are supposed to be elite troops. They got a special uniform coming forward, so like those guys could be a bit of a sticky wicket. These guys are totally out of ammo now. That's great. All right, I will charge with the Lithuanian musketeers, but I want to wear the special boys down a bit. Are they charging my cavalry while I'm not looking? They are. Well, that's good result for me. Is that their only cavalry unit too? I think it is. All right, boys, all out attack. No more wait. Let's go get them. You got fresh troops. The enemy is pretty much gone. I mean, they've still got a number of units here, but their line is collapsed into a disorganized mess. I didn't order you to charge, did I? I just ordered you to move forward and engage. All right, you guys get some rest? You did. Fresh, 50 out of 50. We'll go charge the assholes. You guys get another volley in, and then you go charge too. Now they're gonna retreat. Okay, left flank is gone for the enemy. My right flank is moving forward. Apparently my cavalry got countercharged by these veteran muskets. I was pursuing someone. So my cavalry is going to get dealt a little bit of a defeat. Unless the enemy morale is just that bad that we'll beat him anyway. Doesn't look like it. Looks like my boys will waver and break. These guys got to be pretty much out of ammo. These guns are 95%. Huh, they must not have been doing much shooting yet. Alright, those Polish troops should rally. You got enemy infantry on your flank. Boys, you're all low on ammo. Just charge. All right, you advance left. All right, they're gonna shatter here in a moment, probably. So they do have a few regiments on the right flank I still have to be mindful of. I'm hoping these guys shatter here. But I guess I'll go for the artillery instead. Retreat. Shattered. Shattered. My cavalry charged into these Itzpletz musketeers, and we're going to lose that fight, but it won't matter. They may even rally again. The army morale's just that good. Alright, the entire enemy army is routed except for that one specialist unit. Can you guys fire one more volley, please? No. Alright. I didn't mean the bad guys fire one more volley. You guys should be just about ready to rally. You are. Which means I'm going to have you go up here and charge into these guys again. Just got to pull the troops in the right direction. So these guys are trading volley. Oh, they're routing. Never mind. Cool. We're going to charge them from front, flank, and rear. My cavalry retreats. But there we go. Victory! Evening Sea Town. Python. We just won Act 1 of our Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth game. Huzzah! Defeated the enemy, get a whole bunch of gold. Got a whole bunch of loot. We did lose 3,900 troops. So we'll do the conscript option here to get most of those boys back, if not all. Whole bunch of troops got promoted in that fight. Some of them twice. Didn't lose any officers. Spent every last dime I had on ammo and recruits. And there you go. Our first region is Polish Lithuania. New doctrine. Infantry combat effectiveness +5. Infantry unit size -50. Officer veterancy gain 65 daily. I guess that'd be good if I was losing a lot of officers killed. I'd rather the infantry effectiveness. I don't know how useful officers are. Like I assume they matter, but noble cavalcade unlocked. Partition me, partition you. Okay. Prepared position doctrine is acquired. Huh. That's kind of how I fight. Polish field artillery. Alternatively, we can do Lithuanian grenadiers. Forced conscription doctrine. I like the cover effectiveness going up. Okay. Yes, you do get more political effectiveness if you give them better officers. Okay, so we're into Act 2. I need more recruits and all that jazz. We'll have 15,000 men when all said and done. The enemy force that we will face... Last time was a little bit more of like, oh, we just have the numbers. This time, the numbers are not projected to be as high, but I assume the quality is much higher. The power of the parliament, or whatever, our power within it, is at 18%. We'll need to do 75% to lower the reform cost to 100%, because you can't do it more than 100. General's unit plus 100. Oh man, that would turn the general's cavalry into a legit cavalry unit, or very close. All right, this guy's got to upgrade. Don't get flanked. Okay, I need to buy more ammo. I need to buy a number of things. I do have 1,300 gold, so that'll help. And I can expand the size of my force by 2 more regiments. Probably 1 cavalry, maybe 1 artillery. I don't know. I feel like I need to get a little bit more balance going on here. With that being said, guys, we've been streaming for a little bit over 2 hours, and it is a work night. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope you guys enjoyed our continued look today, of our second stream of the day, of Master of Command, the Lion and Eagle DLC, which adds Sweden and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. We're playing as Poland, or Poland/Lithuania in this playthrough. And that's going to do it for tonight. So until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching, and we're out.